Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Not Kitchen Table TCG. For those of you who do not know, my name is Louie. Hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel called Kitchen Table TCG where we do a lot of magic content these days, but I still enjoy other things, and this is a massive PSA return that I'm going to crack open just to show off and share with you. A lot of this stuff is actually just for somebody else at the shop, but I actually picked up, this is the second return I've gotten this week. Shout out to Lauren. I picked up this from Lauren the other day. I'm a big fan of Pokemon Old Vintage. Shout out to Stacks from the wonderful Andrew Stacks YouTube channel. Picked up that from him. I don't really like modern Pokemon, but I just had to have it. I don't know. The hype got to me. I probably overpaid, but it's all right. Then I got my Masaki promos in. I was pretty disappointed with the grades I got here. 2 9s is obviously fantastic, but they were like the lesser value of the 5. And then 2 6s was pretty rough. I don't fully understand it, to be honest, but I don't want to be the guy that complains about his grades on camera, so we're not going to do that. And then a 7 on the Gengar, kind of the chase card. So I wanted to show those off because I think I had mentioned those in a couple of videos before. But let's get into some PSA stuff as we talk about Pokemon. And is Pokemon a bubble? Is it a bubble, everyone? Leave a comment in the comment section if you think Pokemon is a bubble. Let's check this out. Some of these are going to be for a customer at the shop, and all the modern is going to be for a customer at the shop. All the vintage is actually mine. I just kind of sent these in because the grading has gotten pretty cheap. I wanted to take advantage of that kind of regular price grading. So we got Giovanni's Persian, beautiful iconic card. An Ancient Mew in the PSA 8. Some of these I thought would get higher. Some of them, the settering's not very good on that one. Some of them I thought would not get, but it was just, for $15, might as well send them in and get them graded. I plan on having, my hands are real. I was just outside. I plan on having some slabs at the shop as we move to a new location. So Misty's Gold Duck, PSA 8. People like to come in and look at cards and hold them. So this is a great way to have some things for them to do, and also not have to worry about conditioning and valuing of that kind of thing. It's pretty easy to look up PSA reports and see the sale. Man, Giovanni's Gyarados, some of the most iconic Pokemon artwork in these sets. Just brings back lots of memories. PSA 8 Dark Hypno. I guess I don't have to say PSA every time. A Kingdra. I was actually not super familiar. I did not do much Neo Genesis as a kid. And man, but this card is, it just, PSA 8. I mean, I'm happy with anything 8 or above on these. First edition, Alakazam. These were kind of cards that I didn't send in last time I submitted. See, like, you've got some dings on the bottom. That actually surprises me that got as good as an 8. Centering, I guess, was pretty good. These are cards that like didn't get sent in the first time I did submission, and so these were like the rejected ones. So I was not anticipating too much to be high. Tyranitar, like I traded for this. The guy valued it pretty low based on like the nicks and the corners and stuff. So to get a 7 out of that's pretty strong. Oh, okay. So this is going to be for the gentleman that I was doing some grading for. So he's got a 10 on a full art Mew. He got a 10 on a Blastoise. Pretty cool. He got, I think this one was mine. I've got it all written down off camera. I'll figure it all out. But Machamp, the first edition non-shadowless. There's not really a huge price difference on those because they were the event deck things. But Raichu and PSA 8. My feeling on vintage Pokemon is that vintage Pokemon is a pretty safe investment right now. We had the Logan Paul bubble that I personally believe has kind of popped, and now we are in this weird world where a lot of other TCGs are going down. But look at the size of this PSA return. 65 cards total, everyone. We're in this weird world where a lot of the other TCGs, the values are going down. Pokemon seems to be relatively stable in a lot of ways. And I personally think that vintage Pokemon is incredibly stable. Pidgeot, let's see if we got a swirl. Do we have a swirl in this second? No swirl on that, just a base set too. Things like that after the $15 grade, I'm probably barely breaking even, to be honest. But that being said, it it's easier to sell. You get a lot of condition issues when you sell singles for Pokemon. Like if I labeled this and sold this as near mint, I would get a lot of issues. People would probably return it just based on random things. And LP, it's just a weird world. So anything that's on the line of near mint to LP, also integrated, and then usually, you know, you can kind of break even, and people are like slabs, and so that one has a print line right across it. 2 Pidgeots. Here's a first edition Neo Genesis Metal Energy with a swirl. I think I graded that one pretty much just because of the swirl. That is like a beautiful hollow pattern. Lots of 8s. I'm doing pretty good. Dark Gyarados. This is an iconic card. It was redone in Celebrations. It's that iconic. To get an 8th, that's pretty good. I'm actually surprised at these 8s. I honestly thought I was going to do more in the 6s and 7s. Pichu, my daughter's going to love this. She loves Pichu. Pikachu. When she found out that there was a smaller Pikachu, she loves it. She absolutely loves it. So I'm real happy with all these 8s, to be honest. Skarmory, I think there's a first edition of this in here too. Another 8. I think this grader was just kind of lazy. He was just like, give everything an 8. I mean, like if you like, this is the type of stuff that drives me nuts. If you compare, let's use the, where is my, I guess 7 is 8 and isn't different enough. But if you use these two, like, I just don't understand the difference between 6 and 7. Like on the back of that, there's really like, I mean, there's like nothing. There's like no corner issues. I guess like the centering maybe a little bit, but like the centering on this is a little bit, and you have the corner dings. I guess maybe there's some conversation about like pop report. You also get different graders and different moods. I don't know. Electrode, Jungle, PSA 8. Like these values are not going to be anything insane here, everyone. These were basically the rejects and cards that I had laying around. All right, so here's the same card in a 7 or an 8. Centering looks relatively the same. Interesting. It would be really interesting to look at these under a microscope. You got to figure that they had these 2 cards in their hand, and there was a reason that one got a 7 and one got an 8. So vintage Pokemon, I'm pretty bullish on still. Modern Pokemon though. All right, here's one of the gentleman's cards. A Shining Magikarp got a 10. An Umbreon got a 10. He got 10s on a ton of stuff. That's crazy. Modern Pokemon, it's just the volume is so high in terms of the pop reports and everything that I don't put my money into modern Pokemon slabs or cards. I mean, we take a lot of trades in the store. We kind of, that one got a 9 on that little centering issue, top to bottom. Oh yeah, you can see it there for sure. Okay, this is mine now. A Tentacruel, that's a PSA 8. That's pretty good. We just have so many cards in the population reports of modern singles that it makes me very worried. If you take a look at vintage, it makes me feel like vintage is a much better way to park your money. I can't even pronounce that. Melota Mythical Collection, PSA 8. Centering is off a little bit left to right. I'm not sure why that one got so low on the scale. Maybe some issue with the hollow or something. That one is not mine. Mystery Seadra from pre-release. I can't remember if this was his or mine. I don't remember sending that one. It's hard to, when you send so many cards in. I'm pretty sure that one was mine. I think all the vintage was mine. Celebrations, PSA 10. That being said, that Starmie is pretty sweet in PSA 10. That's a pretty sweet card. I'm a big fan of sealed Pokemon still. I think there's a lot of value in that long term. And opening and experiencing Pokemon as a game for sure. And okay, so that's another 7 to 8. Like my daughter will grow up playing Pokemon and opening packs. She opens packs, I would guess 3 to 4 days a week. My daughter opens a Pokemon pack. So I'm not poo-pooing modern Pokemon. I'm just saying if you were going to park your money in something, vintage seems better to me, my opinion. All right, we got some more. We got halfway through this box. Another 10 on the Mew. So like this person sent in 3 Mews. This was his. I definitely remember this. He bought this from the store. So like, okay, so this was a trade-in to the store. This one's a 7. Like this card is so much more beat up than this. I just don't understand that. Like look up in that top corner, top right corner. Like, there's nothing on these. I don't understand that. Why one got a 6 and this one got a 7. This was a card that was traded into the store, and then a gentleman purchased it and asked me to send it in to get graded. And that's what we did. So he got a 7 back on that. That's one that, you know, probably wasn't worth it for me to, you know, again, I probably would have sold it for about the same price, graded or not graded. Lots of 10s on the moderns. Lots of 10s on the modern cards. He basically got a 10 on every modern card. That's insane. He missed like 1 or 2 of them. Lots of 10s on the Venusaurs. And this is what I'm talking about with the pop reports. All right, that one got a 9. Maybe a centering, top and bottom, maybe. Interesting. Lots of 9s, lots of 10s. Another 9 on the Greninja. And the last one on that stack, another 10 on the Shining Magikarp. Beautiful cards. I love Celebrations. I'm a big fan. All right, last stack, everyone. Thanks for hanging out and watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on Pokemon collecting and investing. Hitmontop. See, like the vintage stuff just, I don't know. For me, it just hits that spot. I think because I was a kid, that nostalgia factor. Another 8 on the Machamp. I did really good as well. Oh, this was cool. This one's a League promo. This one had a scratch on the holo pad, and you can kind of see it. One of the reasons I like, for 15 bucks to send in a bunch of cards, right? Now I can let my daughter hold the vintage cards, and she can hold them. She can, you know, oh, this one got 5. She can toss them around on, you know, on carpet. I'm not gonna like let her throw them on the asphalt outside, but she can hold them, and I can let her experience those old cards from when I was a kid, without worrying about her. She folds cards all the time and stuff like that. So I can tell her, hey, you get these when you get older. It's just fun. It's just fun. And then, you know, when I come to sell these things as a store, like the store, these all belong to the store. When I come to sell these, it's easier to value them, and more people want graded cards, I've found. So Kabutops, beautiful. Man, such a cool artwork on that card. One of the coolest Kabutops artworks, in my opinion. Shout out to my buddy Robbie, who's a huge Kabutops fan. Chansey, I was never a fan. Never a fan of Chansey. Ninetales, also never a fan of Ninetales. Some of these Pokemon, they just don't have the collector factor of people who care about them. But this Slowking artwork always excited me. I always thought that artwork was super cool. Just reminds you of the movie. Isn't it the movie that he's hanging out? Oh, this was the Shadowless Venusaur. Oh, finally hit some of the spice, everyone. All right, so Shadowless Venusaur that I traded for, and it comes back a 6 again. Like, not gonna be something that necessarily added value to the card, but this was for my personal collection, so it's not really being sold. And B, you know, it's just encapsulated now. Now nobody, if I ever were to sell it, nobody has to worry about it being fake or anything like that. It's just a card now, and it's easy to value. You can look up past sold listings of a 6, and you know what you got. Lugia came in, lots of scratches on that one. Still came back a 7. Like, again, help me understand how this is a 6, or sorry, this is a 6, and this one's a 7. It just makes no sense to me. Like, look at the scratches on that thing. Even the back, it's got, you know, it's got some dings on the top. And this 6, I think I'm gonna crack those and resub those, honestly. Lugia is an iconic card though too. Gyarados, lots of kids love Gyarados in the store. Dark Machamp, 7. All in all, I think these grades came back phenomenally. These were cards again that I didn't plan on sending in. Because I didn't think they were going to be able to do 8s. But then when somebody else wanted some cards sent in, I was just like, all right, they did a sale. I think it was like 15 bucks to send cards in. So another Nidoking. And the last card in the close is one more of those Mews in a 10. So he got 3 10s on the Mews. That's incredible. So anyway, let me know what you think about cards. To sum up my thoughts, man, I think vintage singles still seem incredibly cheap to me for Pokemon. If you take a look at some of the other games that are coming out, and the money that's being thrown around in those games, and take a look at some older like Magic cards, like the values are just, I know the supply was higher on Pokemon, but I think Pokemon continues to be an IP that is growing, and thus we'll continue to see more and more collectors involved in it. And that makes me bullish on the singles for vintage stuff. For modern, I just think the supply is so much higher. And you know, you saw these on the grades. People are not playing with these cards on the street and trading them to people and folding them. You know, like these cards are being graded, and so the population is just super high. So those are my opinions. Hopefully you'll leave a comment. I appreciate you for watching the videos. If you want to check out my main channel, you can head on over to Kitchen Table TCG on YouTube. And for those of you who are here from there, thank you for hanging out with me. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and I don't know, we'll do another video at some point. Have yourself a great day.